Hi, my name is Francine and I have ovarian cancer. We don't know how long I have, so my job right now is to make every day count. Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing great. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. Not really sure when I'm going to be putting this up, but if you celebrate, great. If you don't, I just hope you had a great weekend. I wanted to talk more about my oncology visit that she had also told me that I really needed to slow down. I don't know how to do that. I mean, at some point I won't have a choice. I mean, that's fact. But like April, for instance, was a really hard month. It's like there's so many activities. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people just because it's, you know, the month of spring and I have a birthday. My brother has a birthday. My mother-in-law has a birthday. My nephew has a birthday. So there's just, it's a lot. There's just a lot planned. There was a birthday party. There's a wedding, a birthday party. My brother and his wife are going to come up and visit so we can celebrate our birthdays. Um, just things you cannot stop. The birthday party that we had for my mother-in-law, with the enchiladas and the rice and beans, and it was really good. It was so good. Unfortunately, we were one man down because Neon woke up not feeling good that morning, and I felt so bad, but Chris had to take them home, and then I had to put my A game on. I mean, while he was taking Neon home, I was like, okay, just finish what you were planning on doing, like right now, clean the rest of the house, and so that I could play another role. So Chris and I split the difference. Not that we were going to ask Neon to do an awful lot, but it was a lot of work. It took us 2 days to recover. But it was really, I would say it was well worth it. Chris would go, meh. I asked if you could do something different, what would it be? And nah, wouldn't do it. So I know he would though. His family is really nice and they're loving, and I have a good time seeing them. It can be a little overwhelming for me these days. Not looking forward to actually this wedding as much as I am looking forward to seeing family. That's coming up soon, and I think I'm going to have some troubles, especially with Catholic Mass plus the wedding. So we'll be in church for probably 2 hours when you add the time waiting for the bride and, just waiting for service to start. And it has nothing to do with the religion. It's just me sitting there that long. And, it'll be quiet for me, but then it will be a party afterwards and I will already be pretty tired, I guess. So riddle in that day for sure. And then when my brother and his wife come up, that will be pretty easy. They're having their kitchen remodeled though, so, well, not by choice. Their subfloor really needed to be replaced. So while we're at it, right, change the appliances and stuff. So I'm happy for them, but they're going 8 weeks without a kitchen, and they've got like a dorm refrigerator from their kid, and they've got from college, and they have the grill in the backyard and a hot plate they borrowed. So I can't imagine that, their meals are spectacular. So I'm going to have to ask if they have any requests from a real kitchen, but they're very easy. And then they'll be here for the weekend and we'll go out for at least, a dinner or a lunch or something. And it's only 2 people, the kids can't come. So It's very different than hosting a party for 15. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But I was really sorry that Neon couldn't make it for that. And it's not our weekend when my brother comes up. I should say Alan and Lori. Alan and Lori. I don't know that they know that I haven't really been feeling great. I haven't talked about the heart thing. They're going through a lot right now. So I thought it just best to talk about it when I see them. And that might be a good idea because I might have some more updates. So for you, updates. My oncologist actually spoke to the rheumatoid arthritis specialist. Even though we ruled out that I didn't have rheumatoid arthritis, they looked over my tests again and they also ruled it out. And they did suggest, however, a couple of other tests that she might want to consider. So I'm getting lab work again. And she messaged me through the portal, but didn't tell me what we were testing for. So, I guess I'll find out when the paperwork shows up. And then I will, I'll let you know about that. I have to make an appointment for the blood work. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll get my CA 125 at the same time. For the tumor marker, I am still waiting for the results of the DNA tumor marker. So I'll get the CA 125, which I don't hold out. Yeah, I'm sure that there's no change. I mean, a lot of people with ovarian cancer, whether it's primary peritoneal that I have or just generic high grade, a lot of people's markers go up, the numbers. It's a little like a blood sugar test, high is not good. But mine has never elevated, really. It fluctuates by a couple of points. So that's never happened. So it's not necessarily a tried and true marker for people. And I will get that, but like I said, that's fine. One of these days, something is going to show up, right? So I did want to dispel something or let people know they were concerned that, I needed to get that scan, the CT scans, a little early because there are lumps that we can feel in my stomach now. So the doctor said, let's get it a little early. I'm not really due for another 3 months. So she said, well, we'll split the difference and get it in a month and a half. Now, I don't know why, we're not jumping on it, but I'm not overly concerned just because of the rate that the tumors grow anyway. So I just don't think that it's going to make much of a difference. But I didn't want anybody to think I couldn't get an appointment. And if I said, hey, I think this is urgent, then she would just say, yeah, if you're more comfortable getting it now, then that's fine. So it may also be because she was out on leave having a baby, and I think she has a lot of catching up to do with patients. So her appointment schedule load is kind of full. But like I said, if I was really concerned about it, I'm sure she would accommodate me and say, okay, you can get it right now. So the other thing that I wanted to update you on is the heart. I am not feeling a difference. I was hoping I was, and I thought I was, but the heart situation is still the problem. Well, I had a little bit of a lightheadedness episode, and I can still feel the palpitations, and by now I should see a little bit of a difference. So I hadn't had one of those episodes for a while, and I decided instead of going up to a higher dose, I said to the doctor, I'd really like to just revisit your idea of seeing a specialist before we increase the dose. So I have an appointment in a couple of days with a specialist in electrical physiology. Electrophysiology? I don't know. The electrician guy. Anybody out in the medical field laughing, that's just fine. Honestly. So yeah, that's it. Neon's mom is up in the mountains right now, getting her parents' campsite ready for the season, helping out there. So Neon's been with us some extra days this week, which, I love. And everything is good. So I get to enjoy that at least. Because I haven't been feeling great though, I haven't been getting Iggy as much. And I really miss that dog. And I've been wanting to do that while Neon's here. However, we have a neighbor who's going through some health issues who has a dog named Baxter. He's a Schnauzer. He's really cute. He's not my Iggy, but I do enjoy seeing him. And Chris was thinking that he could get a walking buddy if he helps out. And I said, you should do that. Lo and behold, somebody came to the door with like cupcakes from the neighbor with a note that said, Happy Easter, Baxter. That's the dog. So that was cute. And I looked at Chris. I said, see, that's a validation right there. Look for signs. Do you believe in signs? Tell me if you believe in signs. Comment in below. I think signs are very strong and you got to follow them sometimes, for sure. Anyway, so if you were still with me right now, go ahead and put a little doggy emoji in the comments below. Let me see if you're here and paying attention. I can't say I feel bad today, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm still vacillating between a little pep in my step and I'm getting by. I haven't had an episode for several days now where I needed to sleep for 13 hours, which is good. It's good. So I'm functioning. And I'm really hoping that my exhaustion has more to do with my heart than the cancer, because that means it's most likely fixable one way or another. And I could still see some great days ahead. If it's the cancer, I don't know if there's much we can do about it. So, okay, well, oh, there was one other thing. So I took a picture of my croutons. They're famous. Well, they're famous in the house. But I wanted to share this because this is like something I discovered. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I discovered it on my own and they're so good. So what you want to do is you actually start with a bagel. So you can start with a garlic bagel, an everything bagel, an onion bagel. What you're looking at right here is a garlic bagel. Usually I do the everything bagels. So you want to cube them up at whatever size you want. And I used to take melted butter and just kind of roll it in there and then put them in under the broiler. But I found that just stir frying them, it gives you a crispy edge. You've got control over what's going on, which you don't really have in the broiler because you can just keep stirring it around. And the very middle is usually just got a little softness. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. So the next salad you make, grab yourself a bagel and it's good. It's really good. All right, got to leave it on a foodie note. Love you all, and I want you to have a fabulous day. All right, whatever you're doing, however you celebrate, whatever. We are just going to make a small meal for Easter, and we are sending Neon home with a care package for their grandparents because they're getting a little up there in years and they're not cooking. So that was Chris's idea. He's awesome. And I might take a break from cooking because I've been doing a little bit much lately. Chris doesn't mind taking over, which I really appreciate. But, you know, it's that need to slow down that I'm having problems with. And I feel like I'm just going to reply to the oncologist that I can't slow down until I have to slow down. And eventually I know I will. Till then, I got to keep moving. I got to keep having purpose, and I've got to keep making every day count. So make every day count. I know I've been rambling and I've been trying to close this video and I just keep finding things to say, but all right, be blessed. Bye.